Hi, Cass. This is just a quick video to talk through what I've been testing and what I've actually found. So there is definitely something that's happened to this question at some stage. You'll see at the moment Central is pulling in, even though that isn't actually an answer choice anymore. And it looks like what's happening is that all of these are actually getting pushed up one as a result of that for some reason. So healthcare is meant to actually be one for one, and the 86 is supposed to be Amore Care, which you actually see it is actually Amore Care. But the strange thing is you'll see here there's actually two rows. This one's pulling from question 30, Amore Care. This one here is pulling all four choices, which is Craigmore Education, Healthcare, and Amore Care. But what's actually happening is when it's referring to Craigmore, it's referring to Central. And when it's referring to education, it's referring to Craigmore, and it's kind of just all down one. So what I've found is that if we actually say, for example, remove Craigmore, it actually removes like the one down here. It's a little strange. They're basically not mapping correctly. So if I add a new row and do the same thing, the exact same thing as above, from question 30, and I click all choices, look what happens. Now it's actually pulling in Craigmore Education. Sorry, I know this is a copy, by the way. Don't panic with your report. My apologies, I should have specified that. This is a copy of report. But as you see now, what's happening is instead of Central, Craigmore, Education, and Healthcare, the four answer choices pulling in, it's pulling in Craigmore, Education, Healthcare, and Amore, which is correct, and actually giving them the correct figures beside them. It's giving education 141, it's giving healthcare 141, it's giving Craigmore the 64, which isn't even mentioned up here. So it looks like this was created, then an answer choice was deleted or something like that, and then so it kind of threw off the mapping of it. Whereas if you add this from scratch here, it actually pulls in correctly. So I'm not quite sure how to kind of handle this. I'm not sure if the person who built this would be able to just apply those changes just here really quickly. These ones are pulling in correctly. As I said, they're actually pulling in the correct figures and all the rest. It's just these four answers here. So you would need to go ahead and remove these rows, that row and that row, and just use this new row that actually has the four correct answers with the four correct counts, and then they would just have to add those colors and just put in the calculations in here again, because unfortunately what I'm finding is even if we change this, so I'm going to just try it from scratch one more time, this might actually work, but like I say, this is a copy, so don't worry if it doesn't work. So yeah, it still doesn't work. There's something actually wrong with this row. We'll need to remove it and start it from scratch like I did here. So it just seems, like I say, that there was an edit made to the survey at some stage after this is created that's kind of just thrown the kind of calibration off a little bit. But the correct figures are here. It's pulling in correctly. All of the others are correct. It's just a matter of redoing these four rows with the correct calculations and the correct colors. So I hope this kind of clarifies a little bit. Please give this a go. But if you do have any questions or need help with anything else, please let me know, because I want to try and get to the bottom of this.